So good afternoon all, good morning. I'm Marty Murphy with Alpha Med Press. We published the Oncologist Journal. Let me see here. My perspective is, I think, a little interesting in that it's a family business of which I'm a member, and it's an academic journal. It's freely available. Been that way for 19 years. So I was going to find. And I came in to the business, about 5 years ago, and I said, well, wait a minute. There's a couple of things that we could optimize here. One, considering we have the largest print circulation globally in all of oncology, but it is free, so, and solely supported by ads. So I said, okay, we have two missions. One mission is to provide that critical data to the physicians to help extend and save lives. That's the one remit of the publisher, the family, the Murphy family. Then and the editorial board. Then the other side is, okay, my role is generating revenue, growing the business. There's an ad opportunity. So now we're in our fourth year of mobile apps. Predominantly we're talking about the oncologist. We do publish stem cells and stem cells translational medicine. I just launched a new version for the oncologist app at ASCO, American Society of Clinical Oncology, just a few days ago. In the 4 years, I would say really lessons learned. Where are we today compared to where we were when we started? When we started, we thought we knew everything. Okay, we're just going to take our rigorously peer-reviewed, pristine content that we've been publishing for 19 years and force it upon our users. Now, after doing the surveys, and let's honor the physician's time, they see 16 to 18 patients a day, let's let them customize and personalize their experience. Therefore, they will be engaged. They'll come to the app and say, okay, they can get their personal information, and provides a greater value to them. And I'll show you some screenshots of that shortly. The other piece of it is understanding their consumption habits. So when I launched, okay, so today I've got about 167,000 users globally in oncology, and that's China, Europe, and the United States, oncology and hematology. How do they consume their information? Now, that's going to probably be different across the spectrum for our panel and for everyone in here in academic publishing. For physicians, they like the iOS platform. Of the 167,000 users, 2,200 of them are on Android. So yes, I have an Android universal app, but it's only 2,200. Physicians, you can see here that the adoption rate for the iPad is rather extraordinary for physicians, and they're even using it at the point of care. 75% of physicians have and or use an iPad at point of care now. So the other thing is, again, understanding their life and how they consume. So you think about it, a physician over the course of the day, 17 minutes they spend on their smartphone. So I went out and I did interviews with oncologists and hematologists, and 17 minutes a day they spend pulling it out of their lab coat and Googling or looking at apps to get the answers at the patient side. 30 minutes a day on their tablet. In this case, it's the iPad, and 2 hours a day on their PC. So, as I mentioned, I just recently updated the app, make it a customized experience for the physician. So in this case, so you have the 31 sections of the journal. Let's say, going back to it's freely available, though I do collect demographics and geographics. So first name, last name, email address, specialty, subspecialty, place of work or study, and then also, because the oncologist.com is the domain that it is, and you go back and think about, okay, 167,000 people that use the app. Well, many of those are patients. Unfortunate news, bad news, or a loved one gets that same news. They go to the web, they go to the app store, they bring that app down. So they choose, in this case, this physician chooses breast cancer. Now, every time they log in, it's that customized experience. They're going to have interactive articles that are breast cancer specific. Now, that said, everything in the newest version is available from the last 19 years. Thank you, Highwire. We just integrated the API and however many, it's about 23,500 articles are now available. My platform is done in Drupal. That doesn't mean that that footprint resides inside the iPad. That means it's searchable. When you search it, then it pulls it in, and it pulls in similar articles. So this breast cancer physician would see interactive articles, clinical trial results, peer-reviewed articles, and lectures by key opinion leaders and innovators. We do everything. We have about 250 on-demand lectures. We film them every few months across the globe in roundtables, and those we stream in via Brightcove. But the nice thing is, because it's done in a Drupal backend, really 95% of the content is changeable server-side in real time. It doesn't take a push to the store anymore. Very rarely do we have to push something to the store. The other thing that we do is I like to focus on regionally specific content. So if you have the Europeans, you have a European perspective. And then there's also a section of the app that you have the personalized. Then you have a section that's the publisher featured content. So we push that content interdependent upon the region of the world. So if it's in China, then it's going to be RCC, or it's going to be liver cancer or lung cancer, specific to that region. And then we work with local key opinion leaders of their relative societies there. So the other thing to me that's critical, first of all, is the user experience. We have to honor the user. We don't force the information to them anymore. We want to understand what they want, let them customize their experience. Then at the end of the day, though, it's driven by ads. So with interactive ads, and because it's not a sales pitch, I'm not showing you any of those ads. At the end of the month, doesn't matter what pharma company it is, I go back and I provide that analytics. So I'll say, let's say it's a breast cancer drug for Genentech right down the road where I was yesterday for Perjeta. They'll run a year-long campaign with an interactive ad. It's full screen. It'll have a mechanism of action video. It'll have efficacy, Kaplan-Meier, all kinds of engaging tabs, like a microsite, if you will, inside, ensconced amongst the peer-reviewed articles. But then at the end of the month, we'll go back through and say, okay, Genentech, here's the ecosystem for the oncologist app. Here's how many physicians interacted with that ad and engaged with it. Here's their specialties, their subspecialties. Here's how long they watched a mechanism of action video. Here's how long they interacted with these tabs. Because it's all about the analytics and the engagement. And then we turn back around. That's how we sell more ads to support the platform, to provide the critical content for the physicians. So I think for me, if there's really any lesson learned, it's not the strongest of the species that survive, nor the most intelligent that survives. It's the one that's most adaptable. We're forever changing. I mean, yeah, right now we just launched a new app, but we're already working on a beta version of another one because the technology is changing. The way the user consumes the content is forever changing, and we have to honor that. You know, again, when I first started, I thought, okay, we have this incredible peer-reviewed content. You know, we're number 3. You've got New England Journal, JCO, and The Oncologist, and then about 38 other peer-reviewed oncology publications. Ours is great, so we'll just give them the information, tell them what they need to read, give them just a issue at a time, and they'll love it. Well, that really didn't honor their time. Now that it's customizable, it's only been 7 days, but as I look at the analytics coming out of ASCO, and there's 38,000 members of ASCO there, the majority of the area that gets the most time is the customization tab. And they're all going to that customized place, choosing their specialty, their subspecialty, saying, okay, I want X amount of lectures first, I want X amount of breast cancer or lung cancer articles, whatever it is. So it's customizing that experience versus just telling them what I think or we as a publisher think that they need.